When you look around now, it's almost hard to not see each and every artist stuck in some sort of brand deal. Whether it's a small business to McDonald's and Nike, collaborations have been proven to benefit both parties. I mean, it makes sense and it's great to see, especially when you look at the revenues today, with streams becoming less prevalent as an income source and physical sales are at a steady low. I think it's a great avenue of income for any artist. But when it comes to hip-hop, it's different. Pop stars like Michael Jackson pioneered insane Pepsi sponsors, and although we've seen great acceptance among hip-hop culture and brands in the present day, it's not always been like this. Brands simply did not go hand in hand with some of America's most wanted, but one tried something a little different. In 1986, Saint Ides was born, in an already well-established malt liquor market with brands like Olde English, King Cobra, and of course Colt 45. Back then, part of the excitement within the hip-hop subculture, as it still was at the time, was dawning realization of the potential for hip-hop marketization, said Ethne Quinn, a senior lecturer in American Studies at the United Kingdom. We've seen Run DMC and Adidas with the infamous My Adidas, a collaboration that essentially made sense, with hip-hop itself being rooted with dance style and graffiti. But Saint Ides came in differently, being the first example of a brand building its own identity through hip-hop, with having no ties at all with the genre to begin with. When Saint Ides wanted to pursue an identity in the hip-hop industry, they worked internally, choosing a foolproof method. The brand turned to a West Coast producer who worked under the name of DJ Pooh to help design its radio and TV spots with full creative control. Dan Charnas, the author of The Big Payback, The History of Business of Hip-Hop, said, "I really believe it was the first time a brand turned its creative keys to an artist to make commercials for them as they saw fit." DJ Pooh was able to recruit Ice Cube, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Nate Dogg, Biggie, and Wu-Tang, just to name a few, producing print ads, commercials, and radio spots. But these ads weren't just your favorite rapper holding the beverage. They each came along with signature jingles that reflected the scene greatly at the time. They were so good that people were out wanting full versions of these songs, which resulted in a full-length cassette of the endorsed artists. When you look at hip-hop in this time, it was on its final steps of entering the mainstream world, and what Saint Ides was promoting was real. They weren't hiding any message, which is why it was so successful. Many of these artists were more than likely surrounded by malt liquor for a majority of their lives. But with success comes criticism, rightfully so, from Public Enemy's album Apocalypse 91, with the song 1 Million Bottle Bags, where Chuck D spoke up about the pervasiveness of malt liquor pushed on Black America. He said with twice the amount of alcohol than normal beer leads to a lot of violence within these communities. But as all companies who find themselves in scrutiny, Saint Ides came off as socially responsible, producing alcohol public service announcements and even donating to Ice Cube's record made for the LA riots. The barebone issue was that Ice Cube wasn't promoting a positive message when pushing Saint Ides. But shortly after these collaborations is when a lot of these artists changed course with motifs of luxury. From cognac to Cristal, rappers no longer spoke about the lives they once lived in, as they talk more present day. Sipping Moet was where you found Biggie, no longer Saint Ides. A more factual example of advertisement change came with a tribe called Quest, who had the opportunity of collaborating with Sprite in 1994. When looking at all of this, Saint Ides did do well, and their puzzle piece to success was undoubtedly DJ Pooh. Instead of the corporate at Saint Ides trying to market the product, they nested themselves within the industry when no one else thought of even trying to. Hip-hop owes a lot to the business-savvy side of DJ Pooh, especially considering he wrote and co-produced Rockstar Games' 2004 game, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. He was even accredited with convincing Young Melee to voice everyone's favorite, Carl Johnson. He also co-wrote and featured in the blockbuster hit Friday with Ice Cube.
Put your glasses back on.
Saint Ides made people a little more serious with the monetization that can come with hip-hop, hence the Tribe Sprite endorsement that came shortly after. It was marketing. It was a thing of the early 90s, where people smoked inside and came out of a fresh era of powder in the late 80s. We learn from our mistakes, and I wouldn't run a Saint Ides commercial today. The brand even started dying out by '98. If you look around in today's culture, it's not hard to find subtle hints of the 40-ounce era. But with Saint Ides being barely available in 2021, these jingles are nothing but nostalgia for many. But sneaky endorsements will always live on. You just have to keep your eye out for them. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I want to hear what you guys think of endorsements in hip-hop. Do you feel like they're one-sided, or do both parties win in collaborations? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, guys.